Well, I'm glad you come back, 'cause it's Monday. Hey, y'all know it's Monday, right? I know it's a stupid way to come into a show, but hey, I'll tell you what, the rest of the show ain't so stupid, so come on back. All right then. All right, so here's the thing. We are going to talk a little bit about some buildings in Selma and maybe where I lived at one time and a few things like that. And then we're going to talk a lot. So if you don't like talking and sitting down and having a cup of coffee, well, you probably won't like my channel, but I talk a lot. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to start out with a, well, I always thought this building was really pretty. It was one that was around long before the Civil War, and it's, in fact, the building is one of the only big buildings that's our plantation rather, that was right in the middle of Selma and it's noted on the Battle of Selma map. So, but anyway, let's get into this. So now you're looking at the Wesley Plattenberg Plantation House next to the old YMCA. It's located on the corner of Washington and Furnace Avenue. It was built in 1842 in the center of 2,200 acres. Selma grew up around the plantation. Now the only thing left of the plantation is the house. It's listed with the Alabama History Commission, the Alabama Preservation Alliance, University of West Alabama, as well as the Selma Historical Society. Unfortunately, the different societies had planned to do and fix this thing up, and they did go in and work on it a little bit so it would kind of stay in its present state. However, the last tornado that came through Selma has really taken a toll on it, and I'm afraid the structure won't survive. I'm afraid they'll probably just end up demolishing the thing. But anyway, I'm leaving a link in the bottom if you want to find out more about the Wesley Plattenberg Plantation House. It is indeed a shame that we're letting this one go. And now it's time to remember the Flamingo Motel, the famous motel on Highway 80 that always welcomed you to Craig Air Force Base. So what's happened to it lately? Oh, well, for your convenience, I guess, you know, they've gone to hourly rates. I don't know. And here's another good idea. If you would like a good way to keep your keys so that you never lose them with your lock. Okay, maybe not. And this, of course, is the Economy Barbershop. Me and my brother got our hair cut here hundreds of times, I think, at about I want to say it was $1.25 for each haircut. I remember the man used to pop that towel and say, "Next victim." But I remember Mr. Yelverton used to go get in that chair and he would say, "Close around the sides and careful on top." And this right here, of course, is my brother. He's getting his hair cut. I don't know if this was his first one or not. I don't think it was at the Economy Barbershop, though. And then there's Gantz Kindergarten. And I know most of these folks. There's Larry, Gordon, there's Philip and Tommy. And look at me. I'm towering over the top of everybody. I'm the one the far right. Good Lord, I'm huge. Anyway, that's Philip on the left, and that's me on the right in the duck suit. He was a frog, and years later, that's us again. So we've stayed friends, and he lives in Florida now, and of course I'm in Selma. There's the old Winn-Dixie, and then the Big Lots, and now it ain't nothing. Well, that ain't exactly true. It ain't nothing. I think it says good stuff for cheap, I think it's what it's called. But anyway, I drove up there and looked in the door, and I never could get anybody to let me in. So I don't know what the status of the building is now, but I guess I have my reservations going in there because I know that all the air conditioners that were around the back and the sides have all been stolen. So I know that they don't have climate controlled areas. So I don't know, but anyway, hey, if you feel like trying to get something cheap, well, there you go. Knock yourself out. And now it's time for Answer the Selma Question. Well, we got a winner. The question was, what was the name of the motel that was in between what used to be the Red Shed and the Clean Machine? Anybody know? It was the Quail Motel. You remember, it was blue. You know, my brother worked in the Red Shed, and he could not remember what the name of the Quail Motel was. So anyway, our winner is Pat Harrison, and she sent she had me send the coupon of the 10-pound bag of ice to her granddaughter. So, and I will certainly send it wherever you want me to send it. So, this week's question is, how much was the total bill for my dad's utility for a whole month? I told you that. In fact, I even flashed it up on this TV. So if you can, the first one to give me an email, which is this here, send me an email, riclwilson@gmail.com with the correct answer. The question again is, how much in 1955 did my father write three checks? That's gas, water, and power. The three combined was a total of what in 1955? Well, good luck to this week's question. If you want to know how good this ice is, you better come on. They're standing in line. Remember, Aqua Chill. Now let's get on with the show. Jeff, you can tell me if this is true. Brian used to tell me his granddaddy built that house right there. Is that true? That used to be Miss Smiley's house. I used to cut the grass there. That tree wasn't there. $1.25. Yep. I went up to $1.50 and she fired me. Oh well. Those old pictures of my grandmother taken in front of her house when she was young, that's where she lived, right there. Right there. Royal Street. This is the street that I grew up on, Bienville Street. And yes, it has changed. Eddie Stringer used to live right there. Can't remember who used to live there. Ava and them used to live there. Danny Jones used to live right there. The East used to live there. And that's the house I grew up in right there. No, it did not look anything like that. Didn't have any of that extra stuff. And that was the Davenport's house. And there you are, Chuck. There's your old house. How about that? This used to be Westside Junior High School. Well, before that it was Hudson High School. And I'll tell you a little story real quick, if I can. That used to be the Minute Shop. We used to always walk down here when I was a youngin', and we grew up, like I said, I grew up right over there, and that was a Minute Shop. If you can look all the way down at the end of that building, that's where the band room was. And me and Milo and Philip Little, we used to all jump out of those windows and sneak out. Then we snuck over to the Minute Shop, which was right here, and buy Coca-Colas and stuff. During school, we had, you see all those windows going down that building? We had to jump out that last window down there and then crouch down up under all these other windows so the teachers couldn't see us. And then we went over here and we got drinks and all that kind of chips and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I don't think even Janet knows about that. So maybe I only heard about that. Maybe we didn't really do it. There used to be a house right there, and it used to be my grandmother's house. And on the other side of that hill, there is a big old barn. I don't know if it's still there or not, but there was a big old house that used to sit right there. It's on King Street. And this used to be Buchanan's moving company, and it burned down during that tornado. That big space in that parking lot right there is where our Sullivan's was. Not there anymore. There's old Kaiser's and Swift, YMCA, and the Sears building ain't there no more. The old Sears building across the street, however, where they used to sell the tires, is still there. Well, for all of you that was worried about if my package was going to come in, well, it finally came in. Thank goodness the U.S. Postal Service does such a great job in keeping all of our products safe. And so I just thought I'd show you a picture of how it came in from eBay. Thank goodness we can rely on them. Well, I guess that's about all the time I got for this week. It takes a long time to edit that mess. So I tell you what, it's Monday. I will see you next Monday. How about that? Will you be sweet? I'll see you next week if you want to, or if you don't. Y'all be sweet. Yeah, I know where you live, but I ain't coming. You ain't coming to my house. Why should I come to you? I don't know. I'll tell you what. There you go.